Welcome to Detroit! Really? That's the best you can do. This is Motown. Welcome to Detroit! There we go. There we go. This city is the perfect place for this theme, empowerment. This city, its citizens, are writing one of America's great turnaround stories. And the changes happening here are the fuel for our imaginations and the country's imaginations. Motor City's renaissance can empower us to look at old problems in new eyes and never give up on making the place we call home better. It is only fitting that in this place, in these times, NAF next theme, Empower, is what this gathering is intended to do for each and every one of us. Empower us to get up every morning excited to change and improve the world and the lives of the young people you all serve. This is your time to feel the love and support that this national network feels for you every day. Make new friends, see some old ones, but most of all, these next few days we hope is about learning a lot about what you can take and fuel yourself for the year ahead. We want you here to leave feeling empowered to go home and continue what we know is hard work. And it sounds like it's an easy thing to pull off, and we know it's very difficult. Schools and the communities that schools are intended to serve have been broken for a while. There are sparks, and many of you represent those sparks, of what is possible when a public and private partnership comes together with students at the center to say we can do better, and we can do better for our communities and our children. So, to share how important I feel this network is and the people it represents, I want to tell a personal story. So many of you know I had a serious medical problem this year. One I would not wish upon any of you to experience, even though, they say experience is the teacher of all things, but this one I would avoid. So I had a major brain aneurysm in August of last year. It literally knocked me to my knees in a crowded parking lot. I saw bystanders looking and walking, and I begged. I asked for help. I knew exactly what was happening to me because my mother had had a serious event at about the same age, a long time ago. And, I was on Cannery Row. I probably thought I was drunk. So they just kept walking. But probably from the teaching of being a military brat, I kept it together long enough to call 911, told them what was happening, and the next thing I know, I made it to the hospital. So against a lot of odds, I am here with you today. But it is so much more than anything other than the choices that people on my behalf made that made it possible. So the people in my world, my sphere, we talk about the importance of networks, of friends, of relationships with our kids, and how it builds a future for them for a lifetime. My network of people took it upon themselves to help me get the best doctors, the best care. They chose to take the time to check in on me, write to me, tell me I was going to be fine, even when I didn't know for sure I was, and sometimes didn't even know they were there. So they kept doing the work of NAF that I could not do from where I was. Sandy Weil, thank you for making sure I had the best medical care possible. To our board of directors, your support was unwavering, and it made all the difference in terms of my ability to recover. And to my NAF colleagues, especially my leadership team, thank you for supporting, for working together as caring, committed professionals, all focused on the future and the mission of this organization. You all empowered me to get better, and I am happy and grateful to be here with you in this great changing city. So upon my travel here, I scan newspapers and articles quite a bit, and I have a new interest in things having to do with the brain, as you might imagine. And so I came across an article that I thought was perfect for this conference. And it was actually out of Inc. magazine, if anybody reads it. But listen to this. Neuroscience says your body and mind get stronger when you focus on this one thing, And I want you to think for a minute and imagine what that one thing might be that could make both your body and mind stronger, that would be agreed to by the Wharton School of Business at the same time that it's agreed on Psychology Today magazine and researchers. What is the one thing we can all do in our lives, one word, that actually feeds the brain, the body, the spirit, and can help us get through and healthier over time? Anybody have an idea? The one word, and I feel a ton of it today. Gratitude. Gratitude. I cannot tell you how grateful I feel every day, and it's great to know that science would agree with me and say that feeling gratitude at the core of my being on a regular basis is good for the body, good for the brain, and good for healing, but it's also good for what faces you every single day. People who will say you can't do something. Students aren't able to do it. Too many rules. Can't do that, it's not in the master schedule. I mean, how many things are you told every day that you can't do versus the things that I know the people in this room do every day, which is in fact what is possible, because you make it possible and you figure out how to make it. So sometime over the next few days, I'm hopeful that you'll take a minute to reflect on how being part of this network empowers you as an individual to make a difference in a system that from time to time can feel so big and so unwieldy. And what that empower means in terms of the choices each of us as individuals make every single day. What is that empower? How do I feel? Where is there division that I can turn into reaching across, building bridges? Where there is instability, we as a network, you as an individual can choose to be a guiding, positive force to change what seems to be unchangeable. And where there is helplessness and hopelessness, we can choose to be resilient and empathetic and actually reach to that person on their knees in a parking lot and call 911 when the request is made. Change, like what you see in Detroit, began with individuals choosing to be empowered and to make a difference themselves. However small, it was a huge problem, but that didn't matter. They took baby steps and they believed. They fundamentally believed that Detroit could come back, and Detroit has come back. Unfortunately, our nation, our country, and NAF Nation within that country sometimes lets the best and the brightest of America shine through, even in the darkest days. You have a chance to be not a bystander, but an agent of change by reaching out and offering more examples of what is possible for young people, that industry is interested in partnering with you, that students are capable of being successful, that post-secondary institutions are interested in being part of your pipeline. As a network, our collective goals have to be to create the absolute best future for our young people and close the skills and opportunity gaps that stare at us every single day for every single news channel you turn on, or paper you pick up, or magazine you read. And a good place to start that conversation about system change is to tell what you are about and the strides you are making right now, right here in Detroit as a network. What will you talk about when you go home, the problems or the solutions? We're currently in Detroit serving 2,200 students. 2,200 students! Come on! That's awesome, right? And unlike, Sandy was in his brilliance when he created NAF. We started with finance and we've expanded. Now we have 5 themes. But you know what? Cities are not the nation. You have unique local needs. And in this city, known for your innovation, you didn't let the theme stop you. You also created academies for business and marketing and communication and media arts and aerospace, logistics in Miami. I mean, you guys don't wait for us to decide that there's a theme. You take the structure, the design, and the principles of NAF, and you make it work for your local community. That's the power of this network. It's the possible, not the impossible. Those academies here are supported by over 200 advisory board members who advocate for work-based learning, activities, and internships. They are your support system. They are here with you every day, and they know the problems as well as you do and are here to help. The experiences that students really need to start building those real-world work skills, those are in the workplace and with those advisory board members. We're not there yet. I was on a stage, 3 years ago and freaked everybody out and said, we're going to get 100% paid internship. Most of the people who were freaked out were not Academy people. They were the staff at the national office. But the goal is still 100%, because at the end of the day, we know that the change thing that clicks for young people is they're able to see it, they're able to believe it, they're able to imagine them in that position, is the power of the internship. And we can simulate all day long. It's helpful. It's very helpful, but it's not enough. But we wanted to do something besides just demand more paid internships. You know, it's easy to just say do it. To support that work, we started something a few years back called Future Ready Labs. Theory being, maybe we could bring employers together to work together in a work-like setting, a little less lift for them, little collegial relationship between employers, and multiple students experiencing something all at once. So we created Future Ready Labs. I say the royal we here. I did not. Staff did, and they did a fabulous job. 11 national labs, 9 corporate partners are just doing it this summer. That's huge. That's a big bump for an organization that wanted to experiment with something called Future Ready Labs. But I'm excited to tell you, we believe that most of these critical innovations are local. They happen locally. So we're also piloting 4 local labs sponsored in Florida, North Carolina, Maryland, and right here in Detroit. So think about this. As you work the next week and you talk to other people about these Future Ready Lab experiences, the idea is to offer local businesses a way to kind of lean in without as much risk as just saying, yeah, I'm going to hire X number of interns on a paid internship. But it's also an opportunity for them to work together with vendors, with companies they want to work with. They never get time to spend with their colleague, but they can do it on a project that's helping their community and students. If they work together to help shape their hometown workforce, better their own communities, and at the same time build their work relationships with other companies, it's a win-win for everybody. We're excited that we're announcing an application process at this conference. We're going live for the 2nd year of innovation locally, sponsoring Future Ready Labs. So this is designed for you. It's designed for local advisory board partners and academies to come together to build out an internship program with the support of NAF and the models that have come before. We've learned a lot of lessons on what works and what doesn't. If you are interested, and you think about, wow, this might work in my community. This might be a way to get to more internships. If you're interested in learning more about this, you need to reach to your NAF portfolio manager, check it out, talk to some people. We're going to have one-pagers to distribute. But think about the power of partnership, not just in bringing curriculum to the school, offering opportunities for teachers, but think about the power of partnership in a work setting with colleagues from multiple companies working together with educators and a group of students to think about real-world problems that they, as part of their internship experience, can seek to solve. I have to say, I can't tell you the number of thank you letters I get from major companies. I got one 2 weeks before coming to this event from MasterCard, who had just experienced a partnership that they had done in St. Louis with several other companies. St. Louis in the room? St. Louis in the house, right? They rocked it, and they talked about just how impressed they were with the students who came out and the projects and the solutions these students came up with for real social and community problems that communities were dealing with, but they did not have answers for. These students rolled up their sleeves, they figured it out, and they made a powerful presentation that I think will go someplace for that community. So applications for your local lab opportunities go live August 15th. Our value extends way beyond just the high school experience we know, and it's beyond the workplace. Many of our employers go, yeah, JD, internships, those happen in college, not high school. That's too late. on the pipeline problems that we've got with the number of job openings we've got in the United States, waiting for college is too late for 100% of our kids. For many of them, yes. Some employers require that. Okay, fine. We have ways of connecting our graduates to college and then into the workplace. That's fine. But it can't be for every child. We've got to begin to deepen the exposure and opportunity and the power of a paid internship for high school students because it reinforces the why I'm here. Why I'm learning this, what's relevant to me, what am I going to do with it, and at the same time, we are building a more robust, thanks to our chairman, a more robust connection with post-secondary education, which we have been longing for a very long time. So just last Friday, as a matter of fact, we completed a pilot of a multi-summer, get this, residential program at the University of California, Berkeley, where 50 high school students from California got a chance to live on campus, sample college life while exploring careers in STEM. I got to watch it. Some of us got to visit and watch students build modules for satellites. Sandy, your favorite coursework was in full display, coding. So coding, we saw science, we saw what they're going to take back home and study the earth, air, water in their communities and how to make sure that they have tools and materials to make sure that they're advising their community leaders appropriately for the future of their community. It's been a huge success. We're actively engaged in making connections in colleges around the country that will help students successfully navigate the years between high school and the workforce. It's a powerful model seen years ago around the pipeline is long. And our problem has always been that it's never been a connected system and it's never been fully embraced by the employer community that is the recipient of the graduates wherever they come out on that pipeline. So this private-public partnership, the cornerstone of this organization, has been NAF's greatest success, your greatest success, and it's a pleasure to highlight how these students' relationships actually spin off as you get a chance to meet alumni, students over the next few days. Talk to them about what about their experience changed their opportunities and their lives. It is what we hope is the most successful learning you can possibly have in this conference, is to understand fully from the students, from the recipients, from the beneficiaries, why this work matters. Because you do it, and you do it very, very well. You'll get to hear in just a few minutes from two leaders who kind of live the public-private partnership reality and can speak of its power. You'll hear from our chairman, Sandy Weil, and Alex Gorski, chairman and CEO of Johnson & Johnson and a NAF board member. Over the next few days, you'll have a chance to connect with the heart of our network with more student panels, because we've got grave thumbs up from all of you last year. And once again, we're going to feature the riveting conversations from them, not just about what works, but what I love what they tell us is they tell us what doesn't work. What fails them is something we can build support systems to prevent the next round of students from experiencing. There will certainly be no shortage of inspiration over the next few days. And I have to mention, because this is the housekeeping that I'm instructed to do every year, we used to call it data labs, but that's old words. Now we're calling it NAF Technology Lab. So, I know, and I've talked to several of you when I've been on the road, when you say to me, JD, I like all this stuff, it makes complete sense to me, but we have a technology challenge. There are too many sign-ons, we're asking for duplicate pieces of data, I don't get how this stuff works together, I can't figure out how to get access to make sure that I get my students their certificate for NAF jobs. All of those issues are a technology problem, and this lab is intended to solve it for you. So please take advantage of it while you're here at the conference, and if you can't do it because you're doing sessions, get an appointment, date night, with some of our technology leaders to help solve the problem. I really want this year to be the year when we launch schools, and towards the end of the year, I'm not hearing from all of you saying, love it all, except I have a technology problem. This is the age of technology. We should have this solved in a heartbeat, right? We probably just should turn it all over to our students and said, create an app for us. But we have to solve this problem because we have too many young people who have everything they need to get an AFTRAC certified credential. It's just not in the platform. That's not okay. How are we going to get employers to connect to that platform, pull from our students, and actually hire them if we can't upload our students onto it? We have to solve this problem. Please go check in with the technology lab, talk about the problem. We're committed to help you solve it. Check the conference app for dates and times. Sessions are going to take place today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. And please take full advantage of all the sessions you possibly can. They say, if you talk to any great leader, they'll tell you to be successful, you have to stay on track, and you have to stay focused on the big picture. So I want us to think for a minute about some of the good ideas that makes the work that you do so successful. So a little bit later today, we're going to do something called #NAFformations. Okay? #NAFformations. So we talked a little bit about how important gratitude is to the body, soul, and mind. Think about how important it is to shout out, to affirm things that you are doing that work in a way that we can help you lift your voice and get other leaders around the country to hear it, to see it, to feel it, to believe it. Because the benefit is specific, should come back to you and your academies. We can't wait to see what you come up with as you think about those affirmations and things that we should be doing differently and better and more of. Also, you guys are always so great at telling me what I need to stop doing. This is an exceptional gathering of people, of really, really smart people who care a great deal, who at all odds have taken on the extra work of doing more than just running a school. You've taken on the job of being responsible for young people graduating and being able to be successful. If every single school in this country had the passion, commitment to the outcomes and to the impact that this room had, we would not be in the economic situation we are, where we have this huge gap between those who want jobs and those that don't have jobs. I mean, the gap's ridiculous. We've got more than enough jobs. The problem is there's no connection. The qualities in this room, all around NAF Nation, can solve this problem. And this country needs it more than ever before. So I would ask you to accept and wear proudly a vest that says you'll be a voice of activism, that you will say it is possible, that we're not a nation of bystanders, we're a nation of people who are empowered to get the job done for our kids. When we see someone in need, we take action to help. When we're faced with a problem, we work to fix it with our colleagues and our friends. I'll tell you what we are not good at. We're not good at building barriers, and we're damn good at tearing them down. So let's work together. There's no greater evidence than our alumni award winners, who this year are all immigrants as part of their own life story, to say that it is possible. This I know. If you can change a life, yours or somebody else's, you have the power to change the larger world around you. And that is the word and meaning of empower. Thank you all for being here, for your collective vision you have, and for your belief that America's future is bright because of the young people you serve every day.